We fly high, no lie. You know it's pulling.
And with all that being said, I've decided to continue my athletic and academic career at the Stanford University.
Yes, sir.
Network, it means everything to me. Back when I, didn't have all these offers, maybe like one or two, he was always promoting me, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get me on the radar, this guy, you need to look out for him. You know what I'm saying? It really means, the world to me, Vicky, he's been there, like I said, since I've been small, always shouting me out and, always just trying to put me on, just give me notice more than I really appreciate Vicky.
I mean, shoot, I was the new kid. Faison kind of was with the Ducks for a little minute. So my first year, of course, he had all the hype. He was probably about like 6'2" at 12. He was a mutant. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was a mutant. But I mean, from then you could see just the potential he had. I mean, I'm not surprised he's the number one quarterback. If you would have seen him in youth ball, you would have thought he was the number one quarterback in that class back then. So I mean, like going against him kind of like prepared you already for like what high school was. I mean, he looked like a high school quarterback around that time. So I mean, like trash talking with him. He's more quiet though. I will say that he don't talk that much trash. But I mean, like trash talking with him, going out there and hitting drills with Faison. I mean, I kind of like just builds you ready. I mean, hopefully I play against him in college. I would love it.
As y'all know, this is the Sizzling News Podcast. Yes, sir. Y'all know what time it is, man. What's popping? What's going on, man? Hope y'all like that new intro. Yes, sir. I designed it myself. I ain't the craziest editor, but I had to give a shout out, obviously, to Bacon. We got a new co-host on the show today. All right, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a fun-filled podcast. As y'all know, this is the Sizzling News Podcast, man. So we're going to be talking about our sleepers for this upcoming season with SB Pryor. Get his thoughts. We're going to talk some college football, Florida State, where everybody is at. We're going to have some interviews, Niko Andrews, Roderick Hunter, and also Mikel Steven when they join the show. We do apologize for our tardiness. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead and bring on some of my co-hosts. Yes, sir. What's up? What's going on?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
Yes, sir.
Smooth edit, brother. I was smooth.
Where the money at, huh? Okay.
No, I'll tell you at. You is where the money's at.
Nah, I ain't got it. What's up, y'all, man? What we talking about today?
Man, we got a lot on the docket, man. We're gonna be talking some Florida State Seminoles, man. We're gonna be talking about sleepers for this upcoming year, who we should keep an eye on. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some good interviews on as well, man. But till they come, Prod, I'm gonna let you open it up. Well, first off, tell the folks a little bit about you. They don't know. Obviously, you are our new co-host, and the things that you do around the state.
Yeah, man. Stephen Bernard, also known as SB to the young ones. Just a man of many talents, man. Many hats. No hat today. Hats on the wall, but the vibes are the same. I take pictures, I take videos, I create content, cultivate relationships, try to talk with trainers, coaches, kids, try to put people in the right position for the right exposure. So similar to what you guys are doing, which is why it just makes sense to jump on board and ride the wave on what you guys have been already building. So happy to be here.
100%, brother. There y'all go. Prod, I'm turning it over to you, man. All right, who do we need to watch out for this year when it comes to high school football? Who are me and Bacon sleeping on? We talked about Hoko Bacon. You know what I'm saying? You talked about Langston Hughes. We talked about Grayson. We talked about DC. You're very high on Carrollton Bacon, but who we missing? What's the missing piece for you, Prod?
There's a lot of teams, man, that are going to make a run. I'm curious to see what North Cobb's going to do. Very curious to see what's going to happen there with the quarterback that they're receiving. They haven't had a quarterback of this caliber for a couple of years. This kid's a bit different than that one is as well. I think he's got all the tools. I'm a big fan of Teddy. And I think that they're a team to watch. They haven't been out of the second round in decade? And I want to see if they can do it this year. With that kid at the helm, being what he was able to do at North Cobb Christian with the pieces they have around him, the young running backs, the receiving core, and solid coaching. I think they're a team that we're going to be watching and talking about. I'm also curious to see Buford as well. I want to see how they're going to respond. I feel like the trajectory's been, even though they went 12-2, the trajectory hasn't necessarily been the same. They paid Coach App a lot of money. I believe he's number 3 on that list. You're making 170 racks. You got to get those wins, and got a big quarterback transfer to come in. We know that Buford does the by committee thing, So I'm curious to see. I did watch his film last night. Wasn't familiar with him, and brings a different skill set than Raiola. So I'm curious to see what Buford's going to have and bring out this year for sure.
Okay, so you just dropped a little bombshell on this because I was pretty sure the Nebraska commit Dayton Raiola is going to be at the helm. Are you saying we could see a 2-quarterback system maybe?
Yeah, Buford's been doing the same thing for 6-7 decades. It's a committee thing. To be honest, it's great. Specifically in the running back room, they keep their guys fresh. With newly NC State commit Dylan McCoy, obviously Jameer, and the rest of the guys that are there. I think they're going to be, of course, relying on the running game. But this kid that they just got out of Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, Knoxville, he brings a different element with his legs, man. And I believe he's got a stronger arm than Raiola as well. But kind of a secret that no one's really talking about because the news just broke. But I want to pay attention to that as well. They did lose some guys on the defensive side of the ball. They lost an edge to IMG. So I want to see how they respond to that as well.
Okay, so I got to get your thoughts too. Bacon said he thinks Milton is going to put belts on Buford, obviously in that week 1 matchup on national TV on ESPN. So to that, SB, what do you say? Do you agree with Bacon? I said, hell no. I said, this is going to be a close game. You know what I'm saying? Milton lost a lot, but what do you think? Do you think we could see them get ran out of the building?
I think it's a dogfight. I don't think there's any way it's a belt game at all. I think it'll be close. I believe Buford's going to find a way to pull that game out. Derek Baker's a good kid, solid young man. I don't know if he's ready for that particular stage. I know he came from South Florida. I think but a lot of pressure following Luke Niko and the Monstars of the team that they had the last couple of years. And we talk about CJ Wiley and Ethan Barber and those guys, but guys like TJ Lester, losing guys like that really hurt. Ryan G, stuff like that, folks like that. So I don't know, man. I think Buford is going to find a way to win that game close. Yeah. If anyone in Buford's watching, man, let me get a credential. You know how y'all act over there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, baby. What's your response to that?
Nah, I mean, I just think, man, since Buford's been in 6A, 5A, but then for 6A, they've been kind of overhyped. I think they never got they never got into where we thought they would be. I just know Milton. I like their quarterback. Like some things they got going on, especially on that defensive line of Christian Pancake Hunter. You know, and it's a young but formidable offensive line. So I just think, you know what I mean. I like Milton, man. I have been high on Buford. I'm gonna stick to the same beating my own drum, and I'm gonna roll with the Eagles by 10-14, man. Staying put.
Oof, Lord.
Yeah, qualifies as belt alert.
But 10-14, I think like 17-21, but I think 10-14 is just how them boys just out executed at the right time. I think that's what it's going to be. I like Coach Ben.
We'll find out the last time Buford lost in Glory Land by 14, but I'm sure it's been a long time. But if it happens on national television, I just hope we're all there to see it in person. So who knows?
Very interesting. One more question before we bring on Mikel. He's in the background. We'll see if we can get his camera rolling here in just a second. Prod or SB, you've been to a lot of 7-on-7s. You've been to some out of state. What's your thoughts on what you've seen so far? Put on some game with some players me and Bacon need to kind of watch out for.
Yeah, man, the 7-on-7, it's become so crazy, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy the festivities that come with it. Kids are allowed to express themselves differently than any other place. They do some of the stuff they do in 7-on-7. That's 15 yards and probably getting benched by their head coach on a Friday night. But I think there's a lot of guys in Georgia to be excited about. I mentioned I really like Jordan Christie, what I'm seeing from him. The next step he's going to take over there, Southwest Cat. That's one kid that obviously his recruitment has picked up big time. But kid just does everything. Special teams in the receiving game. He blocks. He's aggressive and absolutely hates to lose, which I love to see. One other kid that I really like, man, that no one's really talking about the transfer is a kid you had on your show. My boy Maddox, man, transferring over to Cartersville.
Oof, Lord.
This kid is great. Baseball player as well, which we can probably see with the way he tracks the ball. Aggressive, super athletic, man. Great parents, great family. Cartersville, which is already a team that made a run, picking up a piece like that alongside Cole Crawford and some of those other guys that are over there, I think is going to be probably a team to watch. But to answer your question, 7-on-7 wise, those are two of my young receivers, my young guys that I really like and I really want to see take the next step. There has been some movement, though. If we're talking about 7-on-7, not sure if you guys heard about this, but it's a receiver that played in C1N that went to Walton that just transferred. Man, that's a big loss. But we'll get to that later on.
I think I know what you're talking about, brother. I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. I'm not allowed to say anything, but I'm pleading fifth. But
All right.
all right, I'm pleading fifth on that one. Bacon.
It's my 7-on-7. Well, my biggest takeaway from 7-on-7 is just the news that came out with it last week. Creekside dominated Sandy Creek, I think like 11 touchdowns to 2. That was a head scratcher for me talking to some of the coaches. Like, yeah, man, we you know what I'm saying, they got some dogs in the secondary. Caleb Hill's been moving the ball efficiently. Year 2 for him, looking more comfortable. I wasn't expecting that. So along with a couple other things, but I think that Creekside shellacking to Sandy Creek is probably my biggest takeaway of this. Oh, and North Clayton, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to North Clayton winning the Grady Jarrett 7B7 Classic yesterday or this past week. That's big, man. That's Justin Murphy moving the trending in the right direction. You know, a lot of riders are putting him as athlete, but can play quarterback, man. So
shout out to Jay Money, man. First name last, Mr. Murphy, for sure. I think Sandy Creek is a contender. Don't read too much into that 7-0. They're probably going to win the state championship this year. They arguably should have won it last year. I love that Sandy Creek team, and I love that Creekside team too, man. They're hungry. You know, they're going to be coached up well. I'd love to see those two in the bins at the end of the season for sure, playing in their respective state championship games.
Yes, I think we got Mikel ready, man. So let's go ahead and welcome him on the show, man. What's going on, Mikel?
Mikel. What's up, coach? What's up, coaches?
What's going on, man? Man, you got stocked up, man.
That's his daddy, man. You looking a little more like the pops every day, man. What happened to you, dog? You look good, bro. How you been?
I've been good. Just been working, getting ready for the season.
Hey, ASB, he got a little bass in the voice too.
Facts.
Ready that long? What you coconut oil back there? You looking good back there, young man. You looking good. Back in the city.
Nah, man, it's good to have you on, man. Obviously you made the transition, man. I just want you to walk us through kind of this season for you, man. Madison Central, really good, productive year, 10-3. Just talk a little bit about that.
So last year, you know, I was new. I moved to Madison Central like a couple weeks before the first scrimmage. So I came in there, really earned my spot, and I was back home with people I grew up with. So I really enjoyed how it went down last year. We came up short in the playoffs. We really should have won. We should at least got the state because we really had a good team last year. We had around 30-some seniors last year. So, and, you know, the boys had a whole lot of chemistry, and the team was just real close last year. But, you know, coming into this year, we did lose a lot of seniors, but, you know, me and a couple other guys have really stepped up and been leaders to bring the team together so we can try to be better than we was last year. And, you know what I'm saying, throughout that journey, it's been kind of hard times, but, you know, we still been growing a lot. And I've seen a whole lot of people, and even myself, mature doing, like, for this upcoming season. I feel like we're going to be good this year, and I feel like I'm going to have a great year this year. Because everybody coming together, everything's starting to click now, you know what I'm saying? And we want to continue to start clicking before the season starts. So I'm very excited for this upcoming year.
And then, you know, for you talked about kind of like the leadership. Are you kind of a leader more vocally, or do you like to lead kind of just by example with your effort and the daily work you do?
Last year, I was a leader by what I do. But this year, I've been both. I've been having to get on some people, you know what I'm saying, just to toughen them up because we got a whole lot of young people. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to toughen them up. And, you know, I lead by the way I do things and vocally. I mean, I don't have to do that because, you know, a lot of young guys, some young guys, they're not going to stand just by what you do. Sometimes you just got to talk to them, let them know. So I feel like I've been a leader in both aspects of the game.
And then for you, very healthy season, productive. What have you been training on or working on the most to take your game to that next level?
Just getting stronger and faster, you know what I'm saying? Just making sure I know the schemes, the offensive schemes more, the plays more, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to run the ball, but just understanding like the math of it, you know what I'm saying? The tempo of the game, when to slow it down, when to speed it up, and stuff like that. And like I said, the schemes and how stuff really works for a running back and offense, and just not understanding what I got to do as running back, but the whole offense, because I feel like I can go play receiver if I need to. So I just need to understand the whole picture of everything.
100%. And then for you, I'm sure it was an adjustment at one point, but you transferred from obviously Georgia, coming back to Mississippi, back home. How was that just, you know, playing ball back to where it kind of all started for you?
You know, at first, I ain't gonna lie, I did love being in Georgia because the stage is real big. You know what I'm saying? You got big teams, national rank like Buford, Carrollton, Nielsen, all that. I love playing being around all that. But when I came home, I just prayed about it, and as time went on, God told me this is where you need to be for now. So I took that, and I really grew from that, and I learned how to enjoy being home and enjoy working with what I got here. And I'm blessed that I did come home at the end of the day. So that's how I see it.
Got you. Last thing, I'm gonna throw it to Bacon. Put us on some game with some dogs you play with currently right now that we need to watch out for at Madison Central.
All right, so my first one, his name is Tristan Watkins, 27 DB. He be playing OP7. He's like that. Another one is Tylen Hutchins, 27 receiver. And another got a quarterback. He's a 28. It's two 28 quarterbacks we got. A dude named Jack Renini and Trip Smith. And who else? We got a 26 lineman. This is last year. He played right tackle. He a dog. He about 6'1", 6'2", but he an animal. And yeah, those are the main dogs. But we got a whole lot of dogs. Like I said, everybody just been working and coming together, and so many people improved this year. So everybody on the team some dogs. So yeah.
Mr. Stevens, man, I just flashed back to when I seen you at the Georgia Elite Classic when you was making them kids like little boys out there, brother. But I gotta have you flash back, you know what I'm saying, give some inspirational words to the people. When you went back home and you said you wanted to stay in Georgia, you may have been down. But what did you kind of fall upon? Could have been the Bible, could have just been you meditating. But what did you do during maybe that low moment to stay locked in on your purpose and stay committed to the grind?
Oh yeah, I got you. So I ain't gonna lie. During that time, you know what I'm saying, I was kind of lost. I was kind of hurt that I left because I really want to stay in Georgia from like competition standpoint, the stage of it. And what I really did was, like I said, just talk to God a lot. You know what I'm saying, not just for like a couple minutes. I'm talking about like 30-minute, hour talks with God. And like, you know what I'm saying, at first you ain't, you know what I'm saying, he ain't gonna really answer it like just like that. So you really gotta be patient and you gotta keep talking to him, even when you don't understand like what he trying to do over time. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason what he doing, you know what I'm saying? So like when you going through tough things like what I went through last year, you know what I'm saying, he was just preparing me really, you know what I'm saying, for what I have this upcoming season. So just really for the people out there that's going through something in football or just anything in life, just really pray with God, stay consistent no matter if it's going good or bad in life, you know what I'm saying? Never give up on God. That's what I got to say.
That was deep, brother. What was the biggest thing that you learned about yourself during that time?
That I'm tough because I feel like a lot of people would have just laid down in the situation I was in last year, but and I was close to doing that, I ain't gonna lie, but I just stayed committed to God, like I said, and he saved me. So I'm blessed and thankful for that.
Absolutely. Great answer, brother. You talked about adding and receiving to your repertoire of skills. From one, who did you watch? You know what I'm saying, to kind of pick up that receiver ability translated to the running back position, and why do you feel like that's vital to add that to your game?
Somebody I watched was definitely Jameer Gibbs because he can do it all, and I feel like that's very vital to add to my game because it increased my value in my stock. And as a running back nowadays in this generation we live in, as a running back needs to be able to do everything, not just run the ball. So I feel like that's very important. And I feel like I'm a good blocker. You know what I'm saying? I'm always blocking for my brothers on the field. And you know what I'm saying? Me adding that receiving aspect to my game, I feel like it can really help me out in life in the long run with football.
Absolutely. Running backs, man, it's a short-lived career for running backs. And we just saw, you know what I'm saying, Nick Chubb, he just signed a deal with the Texans, probably a little less than he probably thought. But you know what I'm saying, when you know the life of a running back, man, do you kind of think about the long-term plan for yourself and knowing the infamous history of the position?
Yeah, so it really makes me think about it a lot because me seeing how pros don't last long at running back now is really making me think. Starting right now, stuff I eat, just taking care of my body because recovery is very big in the stuff, and especially the stuff I put in my body. So I'm just preparing for that now, so I can play as long as I want to. And when I'm like, if God do bless me, gets in the field, whenever I'm done, it's like when I'm done, like when I'm ready, like put the ball down for good. It's like at the time I want to put it down, not from like an injury or being banged up. So like I was saying, like I started now by taking recovery very serious, so I can put my best in the best situation. You know what I'm saying, when that time comes.
Absolutely, brother. Last question I'll throw at the SB. You've been on a lot of visits, man. What I'm saying, I think you've been out west, been Georgia. I know you've definitely been to Ole Miss. I'm saying, what's been the biggest thing that you've learned about just the recruiting process? And I'm saying some do's and don'ts for the young kids that's watching.
One thing about the recruiting process that I really learned, especially this year, is on time you can be selfish when it really comes to football is doing recruiting. And the coach actually told me that. And another thing I also learned was don't just let the recruiters evaluate you on these visits. Also evaluate them and see if it's a place you really want to go. You know what I'm saying? You will really be able to tell you really want to go there if you can like see yourself there without football. So that's basically two really important things I learned this year from recruiting and visits.
100%. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mikel, man. You're one of those kids that got a lot of attention early, and it's kind of continued throughout your career. How do you view recruiting now as opposed to 2 years ago? I mean, you were getting offers in eighth grade. Talk about how your mentality has changed in that aspect.
Getting offers and a whole lot of attention as a young dude, you know what I'm saying, you love it. And I feel like the big thing is don't let it go to your head. Now as I got older and matured and been through things I've been through, I really learned how to stay humble with it. And, now it just makes me want to work harder because, you know what I'm saying, it's always somebody out there that's working too and getting offers just like you too. So I feel like really just when you getting a whole lot of attention for young guys out there too, when you getting a whole lot of attention and offers at a young age, really let that be a sign that really gets work for real, for real. So yeah.
Yeah, your dad's had a big impact in your career. College athlete as well, played baseball. Um, Father's Day is coming up, man. For all the dads out there, talk about what your dad means to you and how much of an impact he's made in your career and life thus far.
Man, he's been phenomenal. Without him, I wouldn't have none of the stuff I had. He just taught me everything. He always trained, even on the days I didn't want to train. And without him, I'm not the athlete I am today. And I just want to thank him for pushing me and still even push me to this day. You know what I'm saying? When I don't want to do certain things, you know what I'm saying? I always stand on top of me, make me sharper in everything in school, football, and just being a better dude, just being a better man. So I just want to thank you for everything he's done for me.
Good answer, young man. Good answer.
Me. All right, Michael, man. So now I want to talk just a little bit, obviously, with Madison Century, talk about some of the dogs we should watch out for. How different for you? You talk about the stages in Georgia. How different for you is maybe Mississippi compared to Georgia outside of maybe the stage?
Wait, say that one more time.
Yes, sir. I said, how much different is Mississippi compared to Georgia outside of just the bigger stage?
The main thing is Mississippi just in the country, which ain't nothing wrong with that because even though we're in the country, us being in the country, we don't get seen like a lot of people do in other states and stuff like that. But Mississippi is definitely slept on when it comes to talent because we got some great talent. You know what I'm saying? We got so much hidden talent and people that haven't even seen the talent we really got. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but Mississippi people and talent here is super good and we real humble even though we don't get the attention we really need. So it's definitely a whole lot of talent that need to be exposed in Mississippi. And it's really just because, like I said, we in the country, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. So, yeah.
And then, from your perspective, the media members that are helping out players like yourself, players like, underrated guys, how does that, kind of just make you feel or just being able to see media try to put y'all out there?
Man, it's really a blessing because even though I love being in Georgia, I was born here and I'm from here and I spent most of my life here. So like anytime I see not only myself but other athletes here really getting out there, it's like a blessing. I'd be happy for them, even though they might be my enemy during the season, stuff like that. But like when I see guys really getting out there and getting exposure from here, it's a blessing, and I'm happy for every guy that has got exposed and that really made it out of here. So that's really a big blessing because it's Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? So that's very, like, I love that.
100%. All right, Mikel. So let's talk just a little bit about your recruiting a little bit, man. I know you got a plethora of offers. You've been to Death Valley. You've obviously been to Ole Miss. You know what I'm saying? You've been all over Mississippi State. So what's been some of your favorite visits just so far?
One of my favorite visits, really, Oklahoma, Georgia, who else? Florida State, and University of Florida, and definitely that game they visited on Death Valley. Missed on my top visits. So yeah.
Got you. For Death Valley, just talk about that experience a little bit. What you like the most about it?
So I was down there when they played Ole Miss when they won, and like the bro, it was so crazy. Like it's such a hostile environment down there. It's crazy. Like the fan base is so crazy. It's like being there like a bigger version of a HBCU, something like that. You know, it's crazy down there.
Wow.
So yeah, and then it's Death Valley. The stadium big, it's deep, like a big bowl, and it was at nighttime when they beat Ole Miss, so it was so loud in there. So that was different.
Got you. What about Oklahoma and Georgia?
Oklahoma, they just have a long tradition of winning. You know what I'm saying? They have so many big wins, like over the past 60, 70 years. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? They just have a high standard there. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been winning for a long time. One of the most winningest programs in college football history. And just being down there, just I love being down there because I love like how the camp is set up. It's just the little things I pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the camp is built out of bricks. You know what I'm saying? Just unique things like that I like. And just the people down there are very caring. You know what I'm saying? That plays a big factor for me when I'm on visits. Knowing what type of people I'm gonna be around and people who gonna look out for me and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that about the Oklahoma visit. In Georgia. It's Georgia. You know what I'm saying? You got Kirby in there and all these good coaches that coach hard, but like for a top athlete I am, I want to be coached hard. About somebody like that. Cause I don't want no coach to like be easy on me, none of that. Cause for somebody like me, I'm not gonna get better if a coach just like don't take it easy on me. I want somebody like Kirby that's gonna like really get on me. You know what I'm saying? Just hold me accountable for everything, and not just him. All the coaches at Georgia like that, and I love that about Georgia. And it's Georgia. They strong team for the past recent years. So yeah, that's what I love about Georgia. Really, the coaching.
Gotcha. Now I'm gonna put you in the recruiter's chair, Mikel. We want you to come to my university. What separates you from the rest of the players that we recruit? Why should I take a chance on you?
Because one thing about me, I'm gonna work hard every day. I'm close to God, and I'm gonna take notes on all the things I see, and I'm always gonna be consistent. I'm never gonna be late to no meetings, none like that, no practices, no right room time, none like that. And I'm just gonna give my all every single day, and I'm always be ready to work no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Even when I don't feel like I'm always calm in the room, give 100%, always, and keep applying pressure.
Ooh, I like that. Keep applying pressure, man. Like that. All right, my last one. If I throw it back to the fellas for a few more. So for you, like, talk about what's kind of on the pike coming down the pike now for obviously Madison Central. Like, do you guys just do summer workouts? Then you hit pads. You guys do 707s. You got to do camp. What is that kind of like for Madison Central currently right now where we at in June 9th?
So right now we have practice from 8 to 10. We show up, have a weight room, then go on the field and run. We run a lot, which is very good. You know what I'm saying? But after that, we do some skill work. You know what I'm saying? Just running routes. After we done with that, you know what I'm saying? Stand after practice some more. So we really be done around like 10:30. And yeah, we do have a 7-on-7 actually tomorrow. So we're gonna show up, work out, you know what I'm saying, go on the plays, then go to 7-on-7. But yeah, what we do right now, show up, work out, then go run a lot, then run routes, you know what I'm saying, going over plays, and then getting ready for the 7-on-7 tomorrow, like I said. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Where the 7-on-7 gonna be at?
It's gonna be at the school called Pearl High School.
Bro, so a bunch of schools across the state.
It should be. I'm assuming.
I got you. I'll throw it back to the fellas. Whoever want to go.
I got so Mikel, man. During this summer, man, when you're not with the team, you know what I'm saying, doing workouts, what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize, you know what I'm saying, cardio, your gas tank when you late in the, let's say, mid fourth quarter when you got to break with that big one in the close game, or you're on weights and footwork? Like, what do you prioritize in your off-season workouts?
Couple things I prioritize is really everything. You know what I'm saying? Because going to the season, this gonna be my biggest season, and I want everything to be sharp. So I'm still hitting weights, footwork, you know what I'm saying, everything. And really, I hit up a lot of recovering, obviously, because, you know, it's getting hot. So, like, I drink so much water, you know what I'm saying. I do drink protein shake, but I've been drinking so much water lately, it's crazy. But, yeah, really, really go over everything. I just make sure everything in my game is straight because, like I said, it's going to be a great year for me. You know, so I believe in myself. And I don't just work on one thing, not just waist, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa. I just don't work on footwork. It's like it's everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything plays a big role now. So really work on everything to really be ready for the season.
Puzzle pieces all got to come together, make a beautiful picture.
So,
are you gonna disclose? Like, what's your goal? You gotta set. I'm trying to hit 1,500 yards. I'm saying, what you trying to do?
I want to. All purpose, I want to be 2,000 plus. You know what I'm saying? I want to have some receiving yards, like because we was talking about that early, just as a running back, increasing your value. You know what I'm saying? Be able to do everything. So I really want to have 500 plus receiving yards, and I'm aiming for 1,600 plus rushing yards. So, and a couple pancakes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of running backs don't bring that up, that up. You know what I'm saying? But I can block, and I don't put some people on their butt last year. But, yeah, I want at least 10 pancakes this year. That's a new stat for a running back, and I made it. So,
Tough. That's tough. 10 pancakes. Like a little triple dub. You know what I mean? I like that. I'm not sure if you've been talking to any, you know what I'm saying, any brands, but what do you kind of look for, you know what I'm saying, when you're aligning or when that time comes? Like, what does that process look like for you? Like, what certain things do you want to see yourself align with when that time comes?
Wait, can you say that again?
So when you align yourself with brands, when brands start reaching out to you, like, hey, Mikel, we want you to put this on, we'll pay this. We want you to talk about this, and we'll pay this. But when it comes to aligning with brands, what are you looking for in terms of like alignment, if that makes sense? Like values.
Okay. Really how they really gonna really sponsor me, you know what I'm saying? Sponsor me the right way, not just really, you know, I know they use me to get their brand out there, but like use me the right way. I feel like that's the most important thing when it comes to stuff like that, and making sure it's the right thing for me, you know. If I did answer, I hope I answered your question right. But
Yeah. 100%. Last thing for me, brother, and I'll throw it to SB. You know what I'm saying, I'm saying big name, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people know you, brother. Just as an athlete, but I'm not trying to get messy, but as an athlete, just what does the dating process look like for somebody, you know what I'm saying? That's high value, man. How do you manage that, brother? Because it's an important topic, brother. You know what I'm saying? You see Zion, see 85, not 85, but Anthony Edwards. So how are you managing that?
You said dating, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, well, I ain't gonna lie, I'm being honest with you. I do have a girlfriend, but you know, as an athlete, you know, for somebody like me, the main thing is if you do, for all the athletes out there, if you do get a girlfriend, make sure she understands what you're doing. You know, like you don't want a girlfriend to be mad that she can't see you because you can be at a camp visit, really taking care of what's really important. But like, I got a girl that understands my journey and stuff like that, and she respects it because she's also an athlete. She do dance and ballet and all that stuff. So really, just get somebody that love you for who you are, and not for the football and all that. Really love you for who you are, and somebody that really understands your grind and what you and your life goals when it comes to football. So yeah, that's how you really supposed to do it.
Well said, brother. I'm not gonna pro. Well said, brother. Throw it to SB.
Fourth quarter, game on the line, 4th and 4. What play? What play we running, man? Are you a sweep guy? You a dive lead? What's the? I know you want the ball in the hands, but what's the play that you want the OC to call?
I said counter.
Counter guy.
That's what I said, counter.
Absolutely. Look, man, we of course I can speak for the rest of the guys. We enjoy having a conversation. I've known you for a while. We only ask one thing on this show, man, a way to pay us back. It's time to commit. Get with my dogs here, man. We're gonna make sure that commitment gets done right, man.
Oh yeah, I got you. Sure. Yes, sir, I got you. Yes, sir.
Much love, man. Hey, man, we're gonna let you ride here in just a second, man. But I want to show this clip. Pop sent this to me, man. So showing the off-season work. So I want to get your thoughts. Just why you do this drill, why you do this.
There you go, keep going. You like that? There you go, big boy. There you go. There you go. Go get out there. Go. Good job. Go to work. Which way now? Go to work. Which way now? Who you playing with? Go to work. Get out of there. Get out of there. There you go. Get up out of there. Go with it. On the board now. On the board. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to blow a whip. Come on back this way with it. Get them knees up. Get them knees up. Hey, make the screen.
All right, man. So you struggling in the background as we seen, brother. So tell us just a little bit about that, man. You smile. Just talk about that work you've been putting in, brother. In that video.
So in that helps me out a lot on the field, being quick feet and agility wise, and you know what I'm saying, obviously power, you know what I'm saying, jumping over that tire and all the stuff I was jumping over, just building the power in the legs, that help you run through tackles and stuff like that, on top of being quick, you know what I'm saying, quick feet and agility. And like I was saying, you know, you heard my trainer being on me. That goes back to what I was saying earlier about me wanting hard coaching, you know what I'm saying? I want people to be on me like that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's only going to get me better, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to my trainer, G-Force, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he's the best trainer in the nation because he going to challenge you not only physically but mentally. Mm-hmm. I feel like the mental part of the game, really in life, mental is really more important than physical in football and stuff like that. So, yeah, and it was very tough training because when my dad took that video, I was tired. I had did that same drill like 10 plus times already, so I was dog tired, but you know, like I was saying, you got to keep pushing no matter what. And you know, he was on me and he was gonna make sure I kept going. I thank for that, just for pushing me. And yeah.
So speaking of, let me ask that as we let you go. When you dog tired, as we brought up on the fourth quarter, 4th and 4, whatever, man, you done ran for over 200 yards already, man, and you like, your team need that one play. Like what's going through your mind? Now, mind you dead tired how you was on that video. Like how do you get that energy and what's the mentality in order to be like, all right, bro, I gotta do another play for my team. We gotta win this game. What's going through your head?
You know what I'm saying? Because my brothers relying on me, and I feel like I'm not gonna let my brothers down. You know what I'm saying? I don't just call my teammates. They are my brothers, so I look at them as family. You know what I'm saying? And like, they relying on me, and you know, I'm not gonna let family down, never. So I'm gonna take care of them, and not only them, but you know, at the end of the game, fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying, not only my brothers rely on me, but the fan base and my family and stands, everybody, you know what I'm saying, the program on my back. So, you know, Madison Central, I grew up here, and I ain't gonna let them down. So I take pride in that, you know what I'm saying. They give me the ball at the end of the game, I'm gonna make something happen.
100%. Last thing, I'll let you ride, man. Just anything close. Anybody want to shout out? Anything you want to say before we let you go?
Man, I want to shout out God, you know, my dad, all my family who helped me through this process, the recruiting process, because it's really a really important process. You know what I'm saying? Because like where I go really gonna determine what type of life I have. Because like I said, I want to go somewhere where I'm comfortable being there without football. You know what I'm saying? Just help me be a better person, preparing me for the real world in college. So I definitely want to give a thanks to Dad and my God and all my family and friends that really helped and my coaches, and like I said, my trainer G-Forces and all my trainers, you know. So yeah.
100%.
And another trainer, like one of my favorite trainers from Georgia was Marquell Beckwith. Really give a shout out to him too, because he helped me a lot too. And John Lewis, you like Monster Edwards. So yeah, I want to shout out to all of them.
100%. Fellas, y'all got anything before we let them go?
Shout out Beckwith Sports Academy, man. He's solid. He's solid. Trained one of your running backs that was ahead of you in Gainesville, Gavin, my boy Gavin. And then some of those other top 27 backs are with him too. You got Andrew Beard from Prince Ave is also training with Beckwith. So shout out to Beckwith for sure. Good shout out on that one.
100%, man. Appreciate your time, brother. Godspeed on the rest of your journey, and we'll definitely be tapped in. We got the bar high. Got the bar high, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Mikel, man. Enjoy the rest of the night, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, man. There you go. Shout out to Pops, man, for setting that up for us, man. I know Mikel is busy right now with summer and training and everything, man. We appreciate him coming on, man, and just sharing a little bit about his journey and all the hard work he's been putting in, man, one of the top backs in the country.
Absolutely, man. When you think about this, you think about perseverance, man, especially in this trimester of recruits. His name's got to be at least top 3, top 5 on that list. You know what I'm saying? Transition from Gainesville to back home, man. You know, that could do a lot to your psyche. And it takes a village, you know what I'm saying? Reverting back to the biblical, it takes a village to grow a boy to a teenager to a man, and we see that process working for him. So it's just a blessing to see these young men grow up.
100%, man. Well, we'll leave that there. We got 2 more interviews later to come. They have not joined yet. They're supposed to join at 8 o'clock. It's time for some college football, though, man. So we're going to talk about one of the biggest news. Y'all set my video up, so I'm going to share that here in just a second. But the big news is we're going to share our screen here real quick. I think a devastating blow for the Oregon Ducks. They're going to have to depend on a lot of guys, but this one right here, Evan Stewart, could miss the 2025 season after suffering a lower body injury, a torn patellar tendon. Out. So, just what are you guys' thoughts on this big news?
I mean, you know what I'm saying, you hate to lose production from the receiver position, especially somebody like Stewart. Just it has to be next up mentality. I'm sure Coach Lanning, that's what he's preaching to his camp right now. It's going to be interesting to see what receiver steps up for him and to fill that void. We all know he's saying it's going to be by committee. Nobody needs to overexert themselves. I don't know too much about the Ducks receivers, but I know, you know what I'm saying, they got some recruits. Is the young man from Duncanville up there as well?
Decorian Moore. Yep.
There you go. Decorian Moore. That's going to be the guy that you kind of groomed to slide into this role. Though he is a freshman, can he be a true freshman? I think so. But that's going to be the storyline to watch, and this is unfortunate, obviously.
Corey Moore is like that. Not to put too much pressure on the young man. Evans had an interesting career thus far. A lot of highs and lows, injuries, some other issues. I hope that he can get back in the season. Would expect Oregon to be making a playoff run again. And if that's the case, maybe there's an opportunity for him to come back and contribute for that team. Lanning's got the team humming. Defensively, they're extremely solid. Interesting schedule for Oregon, but of course, it's going to be a huge loss. I think if they get consistency at the quarterback level, they'll be fine. No one's saying they got to put up Dylan Gabriel's numbers from last year, but I think the foundation is strong there to where they'll be able to make a playoff run, even with this injury.
I'm going to send y'all my thoughts real quick. Hold on one sec. And then we'll do the next topic. Hold on.
Oh, good, brother. Take your time.
Hot receiver Evan Stewart just suffered a catastrophic injury, meant a torn patellar tendon essentially this week, which is a recovery of 6 to 12 months. Likely out for the year. We got to obviously see what that is going to be because, as it says here in this tweet from Pete Nakos of 0-3, depends on the severity of the injury. So how bad is it? But that's a devastating blow because he's a senior wide receiver, obviously one of the top guys. No Tej Johnson anymore. He's supposed to step in the fray as a senior and lead this group. This is what Evan Stewart did last year. 48 catches, 613 yards this past year, 5 touchdowns, 12.8 average. He also cooked some really good opponents this past year. All right, now some of those opponents he cooked, obviously one is Wisconsin. Cooked them in that game in that close win, 16-13, 10 catches, 92 yards. He also cooked Ohio State, not in the college football playoff, But in that first game of the season that they end up winning, 7 catches, 149 yards, y'all, and a touchdown.
There you have it. That is my thoughts. As you guys mentioned, Decoria Moore is going to be one to watch here. And put you on game. Keon Sadiq will be one to watch, 6'5 plus. Their offensive coordinator, Will Stein, called him one of the best players in college football. That is very, very high praise for him. We will obviously see, as y'all both alluded to, it's going to take a committee. Decoria Moore is good. Will he be ready? Could we see him have that same kind of rise of a Ryan Williams, of a Jeremiah Smith for the freshman this upcoming season? That would be something to watch, especially with Evan Stewart out. But it should be interesting. A lot of playmakers in there they're going to have to depend on. Justice is another one they're going to have to depend on as well. All right, more news. I'm starting with USB. QB rankings, man. Let's get into it, brother. All right, so this is this is a guy I like to watch a lot, where I get a lot of my news from. But Josh Pate unveiled his quarterback ranking. So let's get the reaction. SB, I'm starting with you, man.
I haven't seen this yet, so I'm looking forward to it. What
Yes,
you
sir.
Child, please.
Not child, please.
Come on,
Not
man.
child, please.
This list needs to start with Lenore Sellers, straight up and down. Lenore Sellers might be the number one. He's like that. Arch
like
Manning, there's a lot of people eating the pie. We're gonna see about it. Nussmeier, definitely consistent. I like that. Outside of that, this is the weakest quarterback list in the SEC in a very long time. A lot of unproven talent. I understand DJ Lagway's potential. I understand what he did in a small sample size. Can he stay healthy? Is that shoulder 100% okay? We don't know. Austin Simmons, left-handed quarterback, replacing Jackson Dart. Good luck. Jackson Arnold, there's a reason that he's in Auburn. Taylor Green, there's some upside there. Marcel Reed needs to be definitely higher on this list. Marcel Reed is a dual threat. Had a great season with Texas A&M. Saw him really put up numbers, particularly towards the end of the season. Diego Pavia, he's just being disrespected on this list. I know he's old as dirt, but I mean, come on, man. He's better than some of these guys that haven't taken a snap. This list needs to start with Lenore, so that's the possible number one pick in the draft. So,
Lord,
going here.
Nah, that's a good point. I saw somebody call him he's a bigger version of Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? Lenore says he's like that 100% for sure. And he's more proven than Arch and Lagway. So I think just by default, you know what I'm saying, if you're doing it how it's supposed to, I agree. I think you should put Lenore and then Lagway since he's got more playing time. Sellers. I even put Marcel Reed at 4, keep it a buck, and then go with Nussmeier. I like Mateer. Don't get. I know some question marks about Mateer, but Mateer's got some. I like him. He's a good thrower of the ball. Can get outside the pocket a little bit. And then everybody else, you can probably put Diego and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. Green is a little iffy. You know what I'm saying? Jackson Arnold. We'll see. I like the young man from Mississippi myself. But yeah, and then Simmons, we'll put him wherever you want to put him.
I just don't understand how the hell Simmons is 7. I mean, or 6 for me.
You think he should be high?
Hell no. Oh, bro, where's Gunnar Stockton? What are we doing? He should be on this list. Come on, man. He makes the top 10 over Austin. He not even prove it. At least Stockton, he got you in the SEC championship game and it helped you win, you know what I'm saying, against Texas. My only one I would change, I know you're going to say crazy, I'll put Arch 1. I'm putting Arch 1. I'm putting Lenoris 2. I'm putting DJ 3, right? Lenoris is proven, right? It was third team all SEC, right? So he got to be your top 2 quarterback. DJ Lagway has the potential coming off an injury. That's why I put him 3. Top quarterback now. They got some weapons. I know you down there with your hand on your head, SB. They got some weapons down there, though, dog. Come on. Nashawn Montgomery, Dallas Wilson, Vernon Brown Jr., or Vernon Brown III. Come on, man. That team is they
shoulder healthy. That's what we need to know.
I know. Hey, he recovering. We gonna see. But you can't tell me DJ Lagway shouldn't be in the top 3 quarterback in the SEC right now. Come on now. What we doing? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Garrett Nussmeier, I'm gonna put him down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He cannot complete that intermediate route for whatever reason. He's always the big play. Go back and look at the film. Always the big plays with him. I'm gonna pump the brakes on him at 4. I feel you. I'll probably move Mateer up. I'm putting Simmons down. Simmons is not a top 10 quarterback in my opinion. I'll put Stockton on this list. I'm gonna move up Pavia to probably 7. Arnold can go down to 9, maybe 10, maybe. I'm not that high on him. Taylor Green, I will bump him up a little bit. and I would bump up Marcel Reed too. That's how I do.
I think you're a little bearish on Reed, brother. That's what I'm gonna say.
His name was Arch Smith. Would he still be number one on the list?
Probably not. Probably not.
I appreciate your
that. The namesake does do a lot for you now. We know that. It does. But you can't tell me he hasn't played and showed that he can potentially be there. Look, I'll put it like this, SB. You're right. If it's Arch Smith, it probably wouldn't be the same. But here I'm gonna rebut that. Why was there people in Texas, not necessarily the coaching staff, fan base, other people around, was clamoring for him to play over Quinn Ewers, even though it was one game he struggled? Now, it's just talent at the end of the day, SB. It is just talent. I feel you. But I feel like we've seen enough where he can say, okay, Arch passed the eye test.
You're going to see. I can't wait. You're going to see. It's one of the weakest quarterback drafts in recent history anyway, so none of these guys really impress me. You can pick holes in all their games. But we're going to see, man. This next year's draft in Pittsburgh is going to be an interesting one, but y'all got it.
All right, there you have it. Anything to add, Bacon, or you good?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how Arch rolls into Texas. I'm excited to see how he perform. I'm gonna wait and see what it looks like on the field. You know, the namesake is gonna
go to Georgia, right?
Say it again.
Texas got to go to Georgia. Texas plays Georgia, right?
Yeah,
They do.
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big.
Bigger beans. All right, man. Let's keep it rolling, man. Let's talk about Florida State. I'm gonna lean on this one on you, as we probably know you're a big fan. But what are we missing here, man? It's a big year for the Seminoles, man. Just where we at? Patrick Payton left, transferred out. Don't got more DJ Ugale. They also lost Luke Omaha, who's at Mississippi State. Just where you at with this team and its expectations?
Yeah, I think this is an 8-4 ball club. At best, 9-3. This is an 8-4 ball club. Keep things realistic. I did have the pleasure of running into pot roast defensive line coach Terrence, who transferred over from Nebraska, came with the DC, Tony White. Spoke to him at that spring game at a showcase that we ended up seeing each other at with Douglas County, Columbus, Carver, all them folks. And I really like what I'm hearing from them. Gus Malzahn has been able to be someone that's run the ball everywhere he's been. He's put linemen in the league. There's always been a running back that's got in the league. And I think that's the way when you have talent deficits in certain spots, you try to slow the game down, minimize possessions, run the ball, play defense. So Castellanos is an athletic quarterback. I'm not the biggest fan of his. I can tell you the games in which I think we're going to lose. I'm not one of these unrealistic fans. But I think that when you do that, you're able to kind of sell proof of concept to recruits. And that's what's important. In my opinion, I feel class of 26 and 27 universally, nationally is better than what 25 gave you. So it gives you the opportunity to leverage some of these new relationships which you have with some of these coaches from other places and hopefully see what happens. 8-4 is what I think is going to be. Best case scenario, 9-3. I think if you do that, man, we're going to throw a party in Tallahassee. We'll be happy. But that undefeated season up until that playoff game where everybody kind of sat out, I think Coach Norvell kind of lost all the goodwill and good spirit that he created with the trajectory going up with last season. There's no top 10 team in the history of the sport to go 2-10. So Mike's on the hot seat, in my opinion. We got a brand new stadium, new stadium rebuild, a football-only facility, something that's been a topic of issue for years since the great Bobby Bowden was there, since Jimbo Fisher. One of the main issues Jimbo Fisher had with the administration. Willie Taggart had an issue with that as well, wanting a football-only facility. As you guys know, it's an arms race. You got to have what Alabama has, what Texas have, what Georgia has, what all these other schools have. So they finally just got that built. It opens up in August. I think that's going to be a major recruiting tool. And we'll see what happens, man. That's what I'm going to be locked in. I'll be there. Bama versus Florida State at home, first game. And we'll wish for the best, man. We'll see what happens.
100%.
There it is. Anything to add, Megan, on that?
Nah, I did not know about that. About the football facilities thing. How does a program like Florida State not have their own football facility? That's hectic.
Yeah, they've been I guess feeling like they didn't need to until absolutely once they hit them in the face that you had to do that. You have to spend money. Florida has it. Georgia has it. All the teams you're competing against. In the state of Florida, obviously, there's the big three, and then you have Georgia, obviously Georgia Tech. Bama's been coming into Florida for years now. You're recruiting against everybody. It's not like a school like, I don't know, give me a school that doesn't really compete against anybody in state, Notre Dame or something like that. They can get whatever best talent in Indiana for the most part, or something like that, right? Now Florida State has to kind of go after within that radius, right? South Georgia, North Florida, and then of course South Florida. But recruiting is how you win the game, and you need things like that to be able to recruit kids. So I'm glad that we forked the money to get it built for sure.
100%. So you said Mike's on the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? Do you think he'll get off the hot seat and eventually smooth on out, or you nervous for him?
If he doesn't win 8 games, I think he might be out of there. Which to me bothers me because I really like the assistant coaching hires that they made. Patrick Surtain, obviously, he's been doing his job, but Terrence Potroast, guy who played in the NFL, tons of experience. Obviously, Tony White. If you look at his stats, everywhere he's been, the defense has taken drastic improvements. Not year in 2, 3, 4 from year 1 right away. Gus Malzahn, I mean, we beat him in the national championship game about 12 years ago. He's been a great coach. He's had Heisman candidates as players. He knows what that offense is supposed to look like. He's been running it since he was at Arkansas State, to Arkansas, to Auburn, to UCF. We're going to run the ball and we're going to play defense, and that's fine with me. I don't need as many explosive plays. You do have some bigger targets. You have a smaller quarterback. You got 6'5" receiver on one side. You've got some size there to expand that catch radius. So it'll be more pleasurable to watch football for Florida State this year than it was last year.
In-depth, thorough answers from the one and only SB Productions. That's why you tune into the show, ladies and gentlemen. 100%.
I'm dead. All right, man. So we had a big time settlement. Got to get you guys' obviously response on this. Amateurism is officially dead, and obviously now, man, players will get paid from their own universities. I know y'all don't say this has been happening for years, yada yada, but it's officially obviously out there now, right? And the salary cap is supposed to be around about 13 to 16 million for football, and about around 25 million for all of the sports. So obviously the athletes will be getting revenue not only from NIL but also from the teams and all that good stuff, not just the boosters and collectives. What are you guys' big reaction to this? Obviously, the big news over the weekend.
Go ahead, SB.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't really do much for me. I mean, regulation, these are just numbers. Teams are going to continue to operate outside the margins to win championships is the way that it's been done for the last 6-7 decades. The bag man isn't who it used to be. It's a bit different. But at the end of the day, I think, this is going to be something that's just for the books, just for bookkeeping. But you have teams coming into private equity now. There's some news that just broke in today. Teams being able to take money from private equity. That changes the game as well, with companies being able to have influences in college football programs. Bit sad by all this, man. I miss how things were back in the day, but whoever spends the most dollars will be the ones that reap the rewards. Ohio State spent however many $1 million last year and ended up being the national championship. So we're just going to make this more of an arms race, and the folks with the money will continue to compete. Those who don't have it can pray for a playoff run and then probably get built after that.
Baker?
He summed it up there. What happened to the DC's administration with Coach Saban to kind of straighten this thing out? Did it lose funding? I know there's a lot of things going on in Washington right now, to say the least, but I agree. I'm new to the college football landscape, but I do kind of remember it just being not money driven. You know what I'm saying? In your face, it was kind of like who could develop you the most, and if you had the right coach staff, as we saw with Alabama, they kind of ran the show for a long time. We'll see how this team-to-team bargaining agreement, the team-to-player bargaining agreement comes out. It'll be interesting, but I think y'all, what I'm saying, I know SB's been a college football fan religiously for some time. I'm sure there's other fans that like him that are disgruntled right now. So I think eventually they'll have to come back to the table. What I'm saying, it's going to take time. That's my thing. It's going to take time to kind of iron this out. I don't think this was the best ironing session they had, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'll be quick with mine. I love it for the players, man. Like I said, get your bread. $2.8 billion. They have to obviously pay it out to players that came before. You know what I'm saying, as well, like the Baker Mayfields, Joe Burrows, the Justin Jeffersons, Jamar Chase, and rightfully deserved. I do think you will obviously need a little bit more regulation. What that's going to look like, I'm not sure in terms of maybe transfer portal. If you cap it out, we'll see what happens. But I am glad that there is something obviously in line. They were getting paid obviously before with NIL, but at least now you have a structure and a salary cap. Okay, hey, we can designate this amount of money to this position. Okay, let's see how we can make it up in other areas. So, I mean, I do like that there is something out there. I just think that it just signals almost nearly the end of NCAA because how are you going to regulate it? That is the biggest question moving forward, in my humble opinion. How will you regulate this? Will it be potentially a union with players and them coming together? There's still a lot to be solved, I think, here. And it's interesting to see kind of what happens next. It's going to be a lot of lawsuits, too.
Yeah, the collectives will find ways to beat these loopholes. These collectives are getting smarter and smarter by the day. These NIL agents are, I mean, that's where you really need to continue to have the regulation. I mean, these guys are raking these kids over the coals 10 to 12%. Anybody can be an your Uncle Jimmy can be an NIL agent. I could be an NIL agent. Like, you know, those guys in the NFL, they have to take exams, they have to be registered and regulated, and they're getting tops 3%, 1.5% to 3%. And these guys are being able to get all these kids deals. And if the kid doesn't work out, they just go and find the next kid and get 10, 12% off of them as well. So it's nasty work going on for sure.
100%. Well, we're going to leave it there, fellas. We got our guests in the background ready to go, man. So we're going to bring on Roderick Hunter. He looks good. I think Niko is still getting adjusted. We're going to bring him on. What's going on, brother, man? Appreciate you coming on, man. First college guest on the show, man, all the way from Akron, brother. We appreciate you coming on. Just talk a little bit about, you know, just your story, man.
I'm Roger Hunter. I played at Carver, Atlanta, safety and wide receiver. I got my first offer, which was Akron. I got my first offer 10th grade. From there, it just was a smooth trail. Like, it was like my dream was coming true.
100%, bro. And then obviously you was in Akron this past year, had a really good game. You know, I want to ask you a little bit about against South Carolina. I think you recorded 4 tackles in that game. Just talk about being on the field, man, and be able to showcase your talent, what you can do.
South Carolina was crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. South Carolina was crazy. If I had to rate like the top atmosphere that I ever played in, they up there for sure. It's just standing in a tunnel before you run it out is wild. Like, you standing there trying to lock in, but I mean, you got student section. So, but on field, besides like on field, once you get on field, it's cool. As far as the being my like locked in stage, I was already locked in once I got on the field, it was already like instant. So all the crowd noise, all that went behind me.
100%. And then for those that are transitioning, we're gonna bring Niko in after this question. For those transitioning from high school to, you know, being a freshman, what would you say, man, they need to do in order to prepare so they can be ready and have an impact, you think?
Focus on yourself, bro. Stop worrying about NIL, stop worrying about money, like worry about yourself, bro. All that to come in, once you ball out the money, I feel like that's the biggest thing because people come looking for money before you even stepping on the field. I feel like you should just worry about yourself before you even worry about anything else. And learn the playbook. That's how you get on the field, real. Learn the playbook, for real.
Got you. All right, man, we're going to bring on Niko as well, man. All right, Niko, what's going on, bro?
What's going on?
Not much, brother. Appreciate you coming on, man. Just give the audience a quick intro, just an introduction about yourself.
Niko Andrews. I'm from Pittsburgh, PA. I got my first offer in junior year from Robert Morris, and then I moved to North Carolina and reclassed, and I picked up 2 more offers after that, or 3 more offers after that season. I got Miami, Ohio, Akron, and Richmond, and yeah, it's been history ever since.
Got you, brother. And then obviously, you know, how was that transition, man? Moving, obviously, originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you moved down to North Carolina. How was that transition from you coming from up north, you know, more to down south in North Carolina?
Being up north, it's like, I say it's kind of similar with like physicality and stuff, but going down south, the game is just faster. Like, the people are faster, the game is faster. I say like the competition is way better down south than up north.
Got you. And then just recap real quick, just this past year for you. How did that go? Obviously, you did really good on the gridiron. Per max preps, you had 410 yards receiving this year, 26 catches. Just recap this past year.
This past year we had a good season. We made it to semifinals and lost to the state champs. Um, I did I did well. Um, being my first year down there, and hold on.
Oh,
All right. Yeah. Yeah, we did good, and yeah.
okay, got you, brother. One more, I'm gonna throw it to Bacon. So, Roger, you brought up a good point, man. You said, obviously, just focusing on yourself, locking into what you need to do. Everything else will come, man. So for you, just talk about your journey. What was you working on, man, that freshman year for you?
Freshman year, I was only thing I was working on was really myself, just focusing on the playbook strongly, so I can get on the field. Once I get on the field, I can know what I'm doing. So the playbook for sure, that's what I was working on, and the weight room, which I'm still working on, because you need the weight room. People don't like the weight room, but it's gonna help you stay on the field for years.
Gotcha. How long did it take you to master the playbook?
Uh, from the insides out to the linebackers and D line. Right now, I'm working on the D line too. Like, I like to know where people at, so how much time I got to guard or do, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Or like if I got to fill a gap. For instance, if where knowing where the ball is gonna pop out or it's gonna crease, so I can be there when it does. I like to use my teammates with my leverage. I know that's one of my favorites. Like if I know I got help on my opposite side, I will try to play outside of that wide receiver.
That's high level.
You, Bacon?
Man, that was high level. I hate to snap off that, but Niko got that Akron offer. You know what I'm saying? Rod, he had Akron. You know what I'm saying? Right, if you want to recruit it, because the young man is special, you know what I'm saying? One of the best DBs, you know what I'm saying? He don't look like on this screen right here, but the brother's a freak. So, you know what I'm saying? If you want to try to recruit him right now, brother, you know what I'm saying? The space is open.
If they're gonna go get him if it need what to be done. If they like you, come get you. Simple.
100%. So, Niko, you know what I'm saying? Just how has it been, you know what I'm saying, with acting right now, man? You like an Ohio vibe, you're already from up north, you know what I'm saying? How you feel about Ohio?
I actually like it a lot. I've been up there a few times, like before I had the offer, and that was a school that I really wanted because, um, actually, I I know of Coach O'Neal, and I know how he coaches, and I like how hard he coaches, and I feel like being in his DB room would elevate my game, and they would bring the best out of me.
100%, 100%. Yeah, he definitely from Pittsburgh. I can tell by the accent. You sound like Wiz. You sound like Malik Thomas. Everybody. I got to touch back on Roger. I want you to expound more on, you know what I'm saying, the leverage thing. I think that was key. You know what I mean? So when you saying you play outside, right? You know what I'm saying? You got help inside leverage. Just how does that help you be able to break on even a ball on the inside? Or if I'm speaking backward, just talk about how it's easy to break on the ball outside if I'm got it mixed up.
You good. Okay, I'm gonna just give an example. So I'm always guarding slot. So let's just say the ball on the inside hash towards my left. If I know I got help from the boundary safety, I'll wait towards the catering. And once he start to say like set go or hut, I'll move my leverage outside and make the wide receiver think and he gotta make a quick adjustment. And normally he's gonna run the opposite way because he see me. So once he run the opposite way, the safety gonna pick it up and I become free. Now I become a problem for the quarterback, of course.
That's tough. So how do you time that, brother? You know, that takes you time the snap count just like a defensive lineman.
You gotta work it, and like you might mess up sometimes, but like you gotta work it in practice. That's when you get better with it. It takes time. You also gotta know yourself before you even get to even know the wide receiver. So I know myself and how fast I can get the thing or how slow I'm gonna be out of the break. Where I gotta be after the ball is thrown or if it's ran or not. So sometimes even if I know I got help, I don't even go outside leverage because I got help. I wait sometimes until he give me a route. Or because I say that, the reason I say that because it was a run, it's the particular run, and my first year, I think spring It had to be spring practice. Anyways, it was his first run. I went outside leverage. It was an outside zone. It got out somehow. I went down, but I had already went outside there. I went down and got pinned outside while running back cut it up. And that one really, yeah. So just knowing your personnel and who you guarding and who blocking you, that really helps.
100%. So how's Akron? You know what I'm saying, you from the city, man. You know, it's probably a lot faster down in Atlanta, but just how's it treating you up there in Akron, bro? You know, home LeBron James.
Akron is good, man. I'm starting to. I say I'm adjusting to it. I don't know. It's the football and all that. That's cool. That's great. But the food, I need my wings, man. My 10-piece, I need that.
They ain't got no food out there.
No, they do. But their wings, it's not American Deli or anything. It's Buffalo Wild Wings and Wingstop. But hey, I can't complain. I'm here to play football, man.
100%. So what's some goals? You know what I'm saying? You in year 2, man. How are you trying to make that all conference? Is it all conference team this year?
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna keep 100% just because it's an interview. I'm here to work on myself and get better, and that take me to the next level and where I want to go. Then we can start talking about goals.
I like that, straightforward to the point. So last thing for you, Niko, and I'm gonna throw it back to Mr. Wilkins, now throwing back to Naj. Just from hearing all that, man, you know what I'm saying? Hearing it from a college DB perspective, you know what I'm saying? Heard about some inside leverage, time to snap out, different things of that nature. Were you already doing little things like that to better your game? If not, I'm saying, what have you just learned from this interaction?
I have been doing things you said to better my game for the college level.
Yeah, so from hearing what Roger just said, man, have you done things like that, and what have you just learned overall from what he just said?
Oh yeah, I have. When he said like pre-snap being outside leverage, and then before the snap get inside just to confuse wide receiver, I've actually worked on that in the off season with my trainer in Atlanta, and yeah, and also when he said wait,
take your time, bro.
Wait, what else did he say?
About
with the running back.
Using your leverage, knowing what you got to feel at.
Oh yeah, doing that too. So making every rep like game like, so in the game it feels like. So I can feel me.
I'm saying, last thing I'm gonna throw to Naj, I promise. Like I said, what type of chip on your shoulder do you carry coming from Pittsburgh, bro?
I feel like Pittsburgh, there's not a lot of like big talent that comes out, so I feel like me being from Pittsburgh and going out to North Carolina, I have a big chip on my shoulder, and I want to be like something that the youth can look up to, so they know like you can do anything that's possible.
100%.
And then for you, Niko, obviously senior, I believe, is coming up for you. Just what's your goals, your aspirations? Roger, I think summed it up really good. I'm trying to get better every day. Talking about the accolades, but what's just your goals for this year? What do you want to accomplish?
I definitely need every accolade. I need state championship. I need that to my name. I need first team all conference, first team all state. And I mainly just want to get better than I was last year with timing and wide receiver wise, DB wise, just really look like a pro already on the field.
Now you're listed as an athlete. Do you have a preference what side of the ball you play, or do you like both, or would you prefer on the next level playing defense? Like, talk about that a little bit.
I like DB more, but I'll play anything that get me on the field. If that's wide receiver, I'll play that. If that's DB, I'll play that. I'm deep or wide receiver was my first love, and then I started playing DB so I could really play both at a high level.
Got you. Talk about recently. I believe recently. I know you got offered. I don't know if you visited, but just correct me if I'm wrong. If you were able to visit Akron, just what stood out, or just what caught your eye about the offer?
Like I said, the coach. I like the DB coach a lot, and I have a friend that goes there, and he speaks highly of Akron and what they got built. And they said that this year is actually their best year, roster wise, and they should have a big year this year. And I like that a lot.
I seen you shaking your head there, Roger. So just talk a little bit about that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, this year coming up, what makes you excited? You look like you excited to get on the field with your guys, man.
I am, man. We've been working so hard. Like, honestly, I probably shouldn't even bring this up, but we don't even focus on the band bowl game. I don't even want to bring it up, but we don't even focus on that. We focus on ourselves one win at a time. We've been grinding for this. We deserve it.
For you, I mean, you mentioned the weight room being obviously a very important component about getting better. What are maybe some difference you've seen? In obviously, you was at Carver, really good school here in Atlanta. Going up there, what are some differences maybe you've seen just in the weight room at the collegiate level?
The difference is I wouldn't take because I went back to Carver and lived with them. I'm not gonna lie, the left stick hit. But I say the difference is it's more serious and the longevity of it. I feel like that. Your body is more. You can take contact way more and for a longer period of time.
Any tips you would maybe give others or high school players similar to Niko about how to better yourself in the weight room or just gain that strength? You know what I'm saying?
I say take the matches serious. Like try to at least if you don't get like 2.5 above, try to take the match serious because the weight is take the weight room serious. Period. You in order to like gain in the weight room, you got to eat too. That's another thing. People don't eat and just try to lift. Not gonna work, bro. It's not at all.
Good point. And then, question for you, Niko. So obviously, you know, just coming into this year, are you a big leader, or you just like to let your play kind of do the talking? Talk a little bit about that.
Last year, that was my first year. I say I'm a big leader. I just like my teammates being on the same page as me, and every game I want to win. So I'm always leading. Make sure my man next to me knows what they're doing, and it's always like mentality. And last year, it was that was key. They didn't come from a culture that it was next mentality. So really, like if they made a bad play, we beat them the whole game. And, I would be there.
Gotcha. And then, so fun question for you, Roger. So obviously said, man, it ain't no American Deli. You talk about Wingstop and Buffalo Wild Wings. So when you want, you know, a good tasting meal, brother, where are you going out there in Akron?
Like the best for me that I always like my go-to.
Yeah, like your go-to. Yes, sir.
I Chipotle for sure. Either Chipotle or they got this restaurant called Missing.
You said Missing
Brewer.
Talk about that. What they got there?
Wings, burgers, fries. They got man.
Okay. All right, they got the good stuff. Okay. All right. Last one before I throw back the bacon. For y'all, man, just both of y'all, whoever want to go first, just what's been y'all favorite memory, man, just playing the sport of football? Something y'all gonna always cherish.
My favorite.
What?
My favorite hat when I was in high school. I was probably ninth grade. I was in the ninth grade. Yeah, it was like my second day. I had it's my strength coach, Coach Q. I love him to this day. I still go work out with him. I was doing the workout, but I'm not doing the workout with the vets. So I get done. He's like, "You done?" I'm like, "Yeah, coach, I'm done." He's like, "You not?" I was counting your reps. Don't lie to me again. From now on, I'll say, "Yeah, he the one." And that really, I really took that and ran with it because from now on, I don't need nobody to watch me. Like, I'm gonna do my reps. I know what I want in life now.
Wow. And if you can, just expound on that. I mean, everybody don't say that, like, man, my first touchdown, that. But you talked about a coaching moment, someone holding you accountable. So for you, out of all the moments you had, I know you've had a lot of successful ones. Why did that stand out the most to you?
I said that stood out the most because like you got certain kids and people that's just going to weight room. Oh, they'll lift probably like 2 times or not lift. You're not lifting, bro. You're not. You got multiple reps and you're not done. But then again, you got coaches that's not gonna hold them accountable. So it's neither here nor there, man. So I really appreciate Coach Q for that one, though.
100%, man. I thought about you, Bacon, for the wrap us up.
And so to that point, have you seen the guys? I believe they're from like Philly. You got they've been going viral for their workouts. They be holding people accountable. They're from like Jersey. Yeah, you would tap into that content.
Yeah, I see it.
Is that the same type of vibe coach be giving you? Like this, that you got to figure it out. So when let me backtrack. In that moment, like you got to say 3 more reps to go, man. You got that lactic acid build up, man. Like where do you go to push past muscle failure?
My younger self saying my come home from work doing it by herself.
That's big, man. That's big. Yeah. Is there a game that you're most looking forward to? I know you know what I'm saying, your brother is striking me like I'm workout by workout, you know what I'm saying, recovery meal by recovery meal, but like is there a game that stand out to you on the schedule? Like, yeah, this is
Nebraska.
Nebraska? Why?
I owe Dylan Raiola. I really do. Because you're gonna see it, but if you probably haven't. We played Buford my senior year. We played them 3 times, but we played them my senior year. I was the first one to pick them off, but I'm the first one to intercept them. But on my interception, it was a PI. So yeah, I owe him one for sure.
For sure. All right, but I'm gonna be circling that game on my calendar. Well, I got the streaming or something, but I'm gonna tap in just for that matchup, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna wish you the best. You know what I'm saying? You from the city, so we got. You know what I'm saying? We gotta look out for you, brother, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate y'all too.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, brother. Keep going, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. There it is, man. College guest on. Appreciate Roger coming on. Him and Niko. Didn't have to spend the time on Monday night with us, but he decided to, man. Much love to both of them, man, and on the journey and continuing to go. Obviously, a lot of fun. But Baker, just your biggest takeaways from the interviews, man.
My biggest takeaway was what Roderick said about just the time in the snap count with the change of leverage. I mean, I'm sure that's widely prevalent on a college and NFL level, but on the high school level, man, that's something you definitely can get an offer off of. That's my biggest takeaway. But I don't think we got a chance to really talk to Niko. Niko, as Jude's been alluding to, you know what I'm saying, he was one of the best, or he said the best cover corner at the Georgia State camp. But he played with Mason Holtzclaw. That's how I got put on to his game. I did some research on him. The brother was putting up video game like numbers. Didn't know he was from Pittsburgh, but he's special. Definitely be on the lookout for Niko Andrews for sure. He's something special.
No, 100%. I agree. I mean, I think what stood out the most, maybe as I talk to more, just the day-to-day. You don't always hear that. Obviously, you talk to a lot of high school kids. You hear about, I want to accomplish this and accomplish that. And his was just like that 1% better every day. Like, I care less about that. The results going to show. I got to put in the work. I think that's one of my biggest takeaways, just with his answers, just, seeing him, just kind of be more structured. You know what I'm saying? Not saying these kids aren't, but just seeing like that mature, structured kind of mentality of what you need to do on a day-to-day just to be able to see those results, on the field.
Absolutely. It ain't a sprint. It's definitely a marathon. The more you can compartmentalize your day from just getting up, not hitting the snooze alarm, taking that meditation, reading, you know what I'm saying, doing something that's congruent to your process is gonna put you light years above ahead of everybody.
Nah, 100%, man. And then Bacon, and we about to wrap it up. I don't know if Ezzy Barber will join us back, but just any topics, man, you want to hit before we kind of close out the show.
We covered everything on the list, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I always like to throw it to y'all though, just in case.
Well, I mean, I know Score Atlanta puts on the Georgia Tech 7v7. I know it's coming up for y'all, man. So if you have any updates, I know we got some viewers that's like, man, no, I didn't talk about the 7v7. What's the word, man?
Yeah, so it kick off tomorrow. At 10 o'clock. I think they released a schedule, some top prospects. You can go to scoreatl.com for that. And yeah, I'm sure Scoreland staff will be in attendance, and yeah, I'm sure you guys can enjoy that. It'll be a lot of fun. I think it spans 6 days, so June 10th, 11th, 12th, and then the following week, it will start 17th, 18th, 19th. So yeah.
100%. So you know what I'm saying, you had the luxury of covering the Yellow Jackets very close. You know what I'm saying. You built a relationship with some of the guys over there. Just how is it? You know what I'm saying, being somebody that wears both of the hats. You know what I mean. Are you hands on with setting up this event, calling different people, or if so, how is that?
Say it again. You said, "Am I what with people?" You cut out.
I was saying you wear both hats. You cover tech and you work for Score Atlanta, orchestrating some of the moving parts for the 7v7. How is that when you get to, I guess, cross the line wearing the other hat? That makes sense.
Oh, good question. I say in years past it was just getting content. I'm saying highlighting players, getting clips, putting them on X, Instagram, building relationships with players. In terms of the coaching staff, like I said, they run a great operation. I've always felt very highly of tech staff and Coach Key, Coach Jones, Coach Wade, Coach Peoples, just very welcoming, and you could just have a honest conversation with them. So I think it's a great event ever since the partnership. Obviously with them too, I think it's helped Tech in terms of just they are so good at in-state recruiting. If we want to talk about that, just like 8 of their 9 guys that they have committed for this 26 class is from Georgia, right? I think before that Coach Key era, they weren't recruiting the state very well, right? And to put that in perspective, Bacon last year, they had Rashawn Dinkins committed. He flips, he goes to Georgia, right? But then last year, Tech flips Christian Garrett, who's committed to Georgia, to Tech. So I think you're seeing those in-state battles, those recruiting wins. And last year kind of put on the precipice, just seeing Georgia and Tech go 8 overtimes and them being to go and hash it out. So I think the rivalry's back, in my humble opinion. I think we'll see, really teams and Tech is like, man, we right there. Like we're not that far. So I think that's like the biggest difference. And you see this new era, Coach Key, he knows what he's doing. And the fact that they have this on their campus to see all the talent in Georgia, I mean, what better than that? And you get to get a really close eval of what's going on. So I think it's been great for them and the brand and what they're doing. And obviously part of Mikel, now that's what they'll do.
Great answer, brother. That's a great answer. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Always straightforward, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Real down to earth. And I think that's head coach is down to earth, you know what I'm saying, real easy to top it up with. So I think that's infectious to everybody else. But last thing, or I guess last thing is one I had on my mind. I saw they got I just had his name in my head. Kyron Lacey. Kyron Lacey is in NCAA 26. Paying homage to him. Wanted to get your thoughts on that. I know you don't play the game, but I know you probably will play it. But just what's your thoughts on them honoring him, putting him in the metaverse?
No, I play it when I have time. You know what I'm saying, obviously, but no, I think it's a great tribute, man. Like I said, I mean that week 1 game he balled against USC, and like I said, I hate that that happened. That obviously him taking his life and stuff like that. That's just unfortunate. But I love that they paying homage and a tribute to him in the game, letting him do the trip out celebration. Rightfully so, man. I mean, it's unfortunate his dream came up short, obviously dealing with legal issues and trouble, man. So I think it's a great gesture on behalf of EA Sports.
That's it, man. I'm gonna get my 2 cents, so we can now let you I'll let you sign us out, man. Just how Roderick was saying, man, fall in love with the similar processes, man. I mean, the minute processes of what's in your day. Just got to be obsessed with what you got going on. I had the luxury of listening to a Jimmy Fallon interview with the I can't remember it was something about being a CEO podcast, and he just told this story of being in where did he grow up in California or somewhere, and moving to New York and going through, you know what I'm saying, his trials and tribulations of moving out there on a dream, you know what I'm saying, and going through the ups and downs of being told no, you know what I'm saying, being told I may not good enough, you know what I'm saying, but just staying there and being down to his last dollars, You know what I mean? When you hear somebody who made it, you know what I'm saying, talking about that process, it just gives you goosebumps, and you realize there's some places where you or some of us may have to go, you know what I'm saying, depending on your journey. You know, but just biggest thing is just keep putting that best foot forward and believing in yourself, and doubling down on your dreams. Because once you give up, it's over with. You know what I mean? And you can't give up because you got to see it through. That's my biggest tidbit take away from that.
That's a great bring up, brother. You're right, man. And everybody's dealing with their own issues, their own demons, their own things. So I just tell anybody that's watching, like, there are better days ahead. Just focus on, being in the process. It's tough. I know where a lot of people are coming from. Just seek help. If you need that, find somebody that you trust, you can lean on. If you're in a tough situation, man, it's never worth it. Speaking of, like, RP to him, but John Brinkus wanted to bring him up. Obviously, sports, pioneer what he did with sports science. Never knew he was dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say I thank him. I think Rob Vaca, his son Kyle, just because they started a lot for me in terms of my come up in the industry. Kyle was my very first ever commitment I got live. And just being able to break it. And I broke it in John Brinker's house, you know what I'm saying, and did it in his studio. So I'm forever indebted to them. And I want to take the time just to remember his honor and what he meant to the sports world. Great human from briefly I got a chance to know him. And definitely going to miss him. I hate to see that, but that's why I say, just to illustrate my point, seek help. If you need it, man. Everybody got their own demons they're dealing with, man. Just know it's gonna be better days, but just try to talk to somebody, man. And always too, it ain't worth it. Like, if it's drama in your life, if it's a family member, bring you down, like, it's okay to cut them. You know what I'm saying? Remember what's most important, and it's okay to take a mental health day. Like, I'm not coming. You know what I'm saying? Them jobs, them bills, all that crap is gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So if you need to take a day, a week, to get yourself mentally back right, to get out of the grind and the rat race or whatever it is that you're doing, you're dealing with, do that. It's okay to take a week. Hey, I'm dealing with some whatever, and take that. It's very important, man. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with that. Before we close out, I know that's obviously a little damper, but I do want to leave people with that, just in terms of our platform. Anything else, Bacon, you got though?
Nah, man. Salute to SB, man. I appreciate him, you know what I'm saying, tapping in with us. And like I said, like Nas said, it will be a permanent guest moving forward with us. A great energy, great vibe as always, man. Definitely a legend in the making and a legend soon to be. So like I said, at the brothers listening, man, we appreciate you tuning in with us, brother. You know what I'm saying? You've been family, and this just stamps it, bro. So thank you.
Nah, 100%, man. Like I said, SB Prod was on the show, man. He is a co-host now, so we will have him on every single Monday to talk sports. We'll see if he comes on for our football recap show when we have that for college football season. Obviously, he is very tapped in with the college football world. We got to get Bacon up to speed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we will. And if you're not busy, brother, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little recommendation, brother.
If you pull that book,
to get you right, brother. This right here.
Nah, for sure.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? This is only $13 at Publix. Check it out when you can. I haven't even gotten all the way through it yet, but it's a really good preview of just college football. We are at that time of the year, brother. So I'll leave you with that. It's been another episode of the Sizzling News Podcast, man. We will hopefully see you guys on Thursday. We've been missing a few weeks for our hoops, but we should be back on this Thursday, and we get to talk Nasir Anderson, who is tearing it up and is becoming a viral sensation. I think that boy was at 2,000 followers this summer. He's at 10K. He's getting recognized and shout out by everybody. America's MVP, broken assist. He's just popped. So happy for him, man. I know it's going to probably be difficult before to get an interview. It's probably going to be damn near impossible now to get an interview. But we'll talk about his rise, Jarvis Hayes, Chase Lumpkin, everybody else on Thursday. Caleb Holt, who transferred to Prolific Prep. We will break all that down, man. So y'all tune in on Thursday at 8 p.m. and we'll see y'all then, man. And enjoy the rest of your evening. We out. Peace.
Peace.